So I'm completely aware that I look like trash right now. You guys don't have to tell me. But this video is just, it's clearing a few things up. First of all, I do have an eating disorder. I am anorexic. It's not completely noticeable because I've been putting on a few more pounds lately. But it's not like I'm skinny, like deathly skinny, to where you could point me out in a crowd and be like, there's no way that she eats. Like, it's not like that. It's been going on for about 3 or 4 years now. For those of you who haven't been following me for a while, you won't know that a few days ago I posted a story basically about how I got into this. I met a girl who was super skinny. She was the most popular person out of the people who I was with on a daily basis. She told me that she got skinny by skipping meals and by making herself throw up, and she got me into those habits. I dropped 15 to 20 pounds in a year over a summer, and it was showing. Like, my parents began monitoring me, began monitoring how much I ate, and making sure, like, at school I ate, and making someone go to the bathroom with me during or after class to make sure that I didn't throw up. And once I started putting weight back on, they basically let it go. And then I started getting fat jokes, and so I started back with skipping meals and everything. And I had finally gotten into a group of friends who seemed pretty stable. And Caroline, the girl who got me into these habits, basically got mad that I was getting attention from other people and started spreading vicious rumors about me. And she said that I was doing all these things with guys in 6th grade, like having sex with them and all that. And so people spaced themselves from me, and I spaced myself from them, just so I wouldn't get all the ridicule that I knew was coming to me. And in 7th grade I was diagnosed with social anxiety because of it. Like, I don't go around people much anymore, just because, in fear of what they're going to say about the cutting and the eating disorder and the burning. Which leads me into the next topic of, yes, I do self-harm, I do cut myself, and I do burn myself. I haven't really told many people. People have, I don't know how, but they found my Tumblr, and they found out, and I got around my entire grade this year, which, I mean, it's okay. I was tired of hiding it from people in the first place, but I get a lot of jokes about it now. I had to finally change my classes and stuff because all of the jokes that I was getting, all of the fat jokes, all of the cutting jokes and everything, and I couldn't take it anymore. I started cutting in 6th grade. Yeah, in 6th grade. It wasn't bad, but then a few things came up along the 4 years, and it got worse. Just like anybody else. I began either cutting more or cutting really deep. And it's not something, for those of you who don't cut, it's not as simple as, you should stop cutting. It's not good for you. You're just hurting yourself. And here's my answer for you for that. It's not the fact that people who cut are doing it for attention or anything. Some do, and some want the attention. Some want you to care for them. Some want you to realize that there's something wrong with them. Like, they won't hide it or anything. And there's other people who do it because they seriously feel pain. They don't know how to express the emotional pain that they're going through, and they feel like they have to express it physically so that they just don't go crazy. I know that if I go a few days without cutting, I feel like I'm going insane because I don't know how else to express my emotions. It's become that, I've become that dependent on it. It's my crutch now. But In 7th grade, yeah, I was diagnosed with depression and social anxiety because all of the jokes that I was getting were basically taking over my life, and I was getting such a negative self-image of myself, and people who said that they were going to be here for me for a really long time walked out one day. They just decided that they didn't care anymore. And at the time, I was really distraught about it. I mean, I didn't really know how I was going to handle classes or anything, or handle, or telling somebody something, because I didn't have those people anymore. And at that point was when I was getting the more jokes and everything, which really didn't make anything better with the cutting. I think I had gone maybe 2 months without cutting once, and my best friend in the whole entire world walked out on me. They said, I can't be a part of your life anymore. I really can't. The cutting's becoming too much for me to handle. And if it's too much for me, then it's obviously too much for you. And that's when I finally I think that was the first time I ever tried to commit suicide. I tried to slit my wrist open, and that's that. It didn't really work. Didn't cut deep enough. And yeah, I mean, I regret it, but at the same time I don't, because I wouldn't have been able to be here for any of the followers that have had issues with me, or issues and have messaged me, is what I meant to say. And so finally, a few things happened that obviously I would have been better off without them happening. That happens to everyone. But then my uncle died, and he was basically like a dad to me. He did more with me than my real dad actually did. And when he died, I didn't know what to do. And that is what led up to my huge fear of water. He had a heart attack and drowned. And ever since, I haven't gotten in water. Of course I get in water to take a shower or something, but I can't swim in water, or else I freak out, because I have the fear of drowning now. And I know it seems dumb, I know, but once you've really lived that experience. I was supposed to be with him that day. I was supposed to be canoeing with him and fishing with him, and instead he told me to go hang out with my friends and that he'd be fine by himself. And I really didn't want to go, but he said, look, it's your chance to make new friends, go ahead and go. And I went, and he had a heart attack and drowned that day. My family was already messed up. My cousin had tried to kill herself multiple times. My parents and I really don't get along very well, especially me and my mom, and me and my dad for that matter. I don't like my dad. I mean, there's not much more to say than that. We just straight up don't get along. But at that point, that's when some of the abuse things started. Verbal, sometimes physical. Basically doing what Caroline did and pointing out my worst features. I haven't been really close to my family ever since, and that's completely fine with me. I don't really need to, I don't have anything that I have to tell them every day, but, people are always saying, oh, how I love my mom, or how I love my dad, and I'm just like, I like my friends. I mean, I like the friends that I have now, because I have finally found people who will actually put up with me through everything. Yeah, 8th grade year has helped a lot. I've become very talented, not very talented, but I've become better at sports and everything. I play 8 sports, and I'm not going to name them off the top of my head. I'd have to think and count them out. I play soccer, volleyball, basketball, softball, track, XC, swim, tennis. I do dance. I used to do gymnastics. that would help me get my mind off of cutting and stuff. And then I basically, once I got back into cutting, sports I had to hide things from my team, and I had to hide things from my parents and friends. But then 8th grade year, I finally found people who accepted the cutting and tried to help me. One of my friends, I remember, found one of my blades one time after I had used it and broke it and threw it away, and I love her so much for that. It really meant the world to me that she would do that and that she cared so much. Another brought me a whole 2 boxes of Band-Aids because she knew how bad the cut was that I had done on my wrist a few nights before, because I had told her one day, because she was basically my best friend. I told her everything. And I told her how I tried to commit suicide a few nights ago, and she was of course completely distraught. But I told her how nothing would really make it stop bleeding. I kept Band-Aids on it constantly, kept them changed. And so she bought me boxes of Band-Aids just to keep with me in case it started bleeding. But the eating disorder has gotten worse, so to say, because there's been more jokes this year of all years. And I've gotten a lot of messages saying how they say I don't try to get better and that I'm not trying at all. But I promise you, I really am. You can ask Pain Hurts, Katie. I really don't talk to anyone in real life other than her that was on my Tumblr. I mean, she and I were both trying to recover with each other at one point, and that kind of fell apart in a way. But I mean, so yes, I am trying with the eating disorder, and cutting is, like I said, a bit more difficult than you think. I'm trying, I really am. So this is basically just an explanation of why I started cutting, and then a little background about me. I'm sorry that this is horrible quality and that my voice is really, really gone because I was yelling today, and because I was at track and I was cheering for somebody. And so yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.